Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be working with coil springs. We're going to be putting variable rate coil springs into the back of the El Camino as part of our El Tow-mino upgrade project. Because right now, the only thing holding up the back of this El Camino is the air shocks. Let me show you. The neat thing about El Caminos is that from the factory, they came with air shocks. This is the air shocks, and this is a factory location, as far as I know and as far as you know. Don't really know if this is the factory location, but I'm claiming that it is. However, this did come with air shocks from the factory. I looked it up. It's a factual fact for once. Now, if we remove the Schrader valve, you'll see that the only thing holding up the back of this El Camino is indeed the air shock. As you can tell, that's settled quite a bit just from letting the air out. I'm not saying the coils aren't doing anything, but they're not doing much. Now, this is a relatively simple job. What we need to do is take the bottom shock bolt out and pull the shock off the bottom mount on each side, then jack it all the way up as high as we can get it. But they're not actually mounted to anything. Literally just the weight of the vehicle holds them in place as it sits on top of that axle. That's it. That being said, let's go ahead and try to break this loose and then maybe get some sort of other tool on it other than a wrench, because I'm tired of just using wrenches on things. If I can get it loosened, I've got a 1/4 inch impact that will definitely work on that. I think that's loose enough. Impact noises. Yeah, what do you know? That was pretty simple. Washer. And then we just need to pry it off of there with a pry bar. Hence the name. Commencing straining noises. And there we go. And in case anybody's wondering, this is an 11/16. There we go. That ought to let the Ryobi eat. Here we go. When you're pulling the pry bar towards yourself, make sure you don't hit yourself in the head if the pry bar snaps back.
Ah, good tip.
Ask me how I know. There you go. Man, that's going to be fun to put back on. Now, with the shocks detached on the axle, we should be able to now jack this up and have enough room for basically the coil springs to fall out. At least the old ones. I don't know about the new ones. They're definitely probably going to be taller. We'll come to that one in a minute. The real question is, since I've got this hitch on the bottom, if I jack it up by the hitch, is that going to be enough height for those coils to clear? That's as high as that goes. And as you can see, those coils are nowhere near coming out yet. So we've got to go up higher. Higher! Higher! I wonder if we go one side at a time, lifting from the frame, if that'll get us up high enough. I guess place your bets in the comments, because nothing's worked so far. Ooh, well, we have liftoff of the rear axle on this side. That's a good sign. I mean, it's a sign that it's hanging. Not necessarily anything else. Oh yeah, we've got coil spring clearance. Now I've got a jack underneath the frame too, and we can come and take a look at this coil spring safely. Yes. Now you can't tell from the bottom, but if you look at the top of the coil spring, it's not doing anything. It's not in the pocket anymore. We can just grab that and pull it out. It's going to be amazing. And there you go. We've removed a coil spring. Let's check the height on that versus our new one. Just as I suspected, our new ones are slightly taller. Maybe an inch, inch and a half. I think we can still weasel that thing in there. By the way, if anybody wonders, these are Moog cargo coils, CC 507s. Yeah, at least according to the box, Moog is the problem solver.
Okay, hotshot.
We'll see about that. Now, this is the spring we just took out. Lightweight stock spring. As you can tell, all the coils are the same distance apart. The spring we bought is called a cargo coil, which means it's a progressive rate, which means that the springs over here are farther apart, and on this side, as you can tell, they're closer together. The ends are the same, which begs the question, which way is up? Does it matter top or bottom with the tight springs, loose springs? What do we do? Well, I did the internet research for you. I Googled it for like 5 minutes and took the majority of the answers that I saw on pages 1 and 2. And they said tight coils at the top. I don't know why that is. The ends are the same, but everybody seems to say you want the tight coils at the top. Something about unsprung weight or something. It really didn't make much difference, but they said if you got the same ends, just put the tight ones at the top. So that's what we're going to do.
Sounds good to me.
Only thing of note is the end of this pigtail on the top, it says to put it parallel with the axle. All right, with that being said, let's try to jam this thing back in there. Insulator looks to be perfectly fine, so we'll put that back on there. By perfectly fine, I mean it's still in one piece, just close enough. Now that's supposed to be parallel to the axle. Okay. Yeah. Paralleling, pushing with forces. There we go. Ta-da! Look at that. That thing's in there. All right, so that extra inch and a half of height is nothing we can't overcome. So we got to lower this side back down, and then we'll jack up the other side. Yes. Now, I should have taken a tape measure and gone from ground to wheel well before we did this so we could see before and after, but I didn't. But you saw it. I mean, it was basically at tread level before. It hasn't been jounced yet. It'll definitely settle a little, but that is that's higher, which means it's stiffer, which means it's probably not going to ride good empty, but it will be good for towing. And this is the El Camino, damn it. There we go. All right. And once again, plenty of room here on top, plenty of clearance. It drops right out. And once that's out, we'll put the next one right in here. Yes, we will. Push up. Ah, there we go. Perfect. All right, so we've got that passenger side coil in. And if you look up at the top, see the end of the pigtail right there? Well, if you go directly down, it's parallel with this here axle, just like the directions say. Now I'm gonna put some shocks on and we're out of here. Let's double check and make sure that that spring didn't move. It appears to be nice and seated still. Arr. So when all else fails, use your strength and lift the whole end of the vehicle up. It's Ryobi time. There you go. Now, if you don't think that's torqued enough, let me tell you, it probably is. Over the end of the stud, then use all of your muscles and lift it up onto the stud. Yes. There we go. A lot of that tightening action, huh? All right. All right. Now that we've got this thing back on the ground with the new coils, the only thing left to do is to jounce the vehicle, which is a fancy way to say jump up and down and make it bounce, hence jounce. Okay, 3 sets of 10, and then move on to push-ups, then pull-ups. But seriously, kids, as you can tell, we've jounced it. It didn't really go down much, which is fine. It'll settle in as you drive it and as the springs wear, but we are a good 2 to 3 inches taller than we were before with the factory springs and the air shocks helping. And right now there's no air in the air shocks. So that means there's a lot less strain on the bag of the air shock now. We do have a load on it, which will be nice. So that's one more step in the El Camino transformation. And I think that was a good one. All right. See you next time.